人健康，一起洗手吧。周一来麦当劳吃早餐，还送免洗搓手液。
Ics 国际夏令营开始报名了。去探访芬兰圣诞老人的故乡，还是去体验纯正的英伦文化，或者去袋鼠王国澳大利亚？发送电子邮件或拨打以下电话报名，你的精彩暑假从现在开始。
This has all appeared in my dreams before. Stepping into an old Shanghainese villa tucked away behind a lush garden. The touch of a bygone age. The smell. The shadows. The light. Wondering and imagine what stories took place here before. And what memories these rooms hold. The curtain of the past lifts, while I feel a moment of solitude and peacefulness.
在巨鹿路的这个徽公馆，就让我感觉到真正的那一种很强烈的一种震撼。
We got the buildings with the 1930s Shanghai styles, belongs to Mr. Du Yuesheng.
如果你去过东京，你去过巴黎，你就会知道，同样是埃菲尔铁塔跟东京铁塔，他们在不分宣誓的过程当中，他们用什么样能够比出高下呢？容积率、宽容，还有更好的这个就是在整个环境空间上面的留白。
Maison Dewey is part of the Xiaonanguo Group. The branch located on 168 Julu Road is the brand's flagship restaurant. The villa's history can be traced back to the 1920s. Legendary Shanghai gangster big-eared Du Yuesheng once owned the place. Today, in the building with its original staircases, stained glass windows, and nearby a century of history and this roof, Maison Dewey serves Shanghainese delicacies along with Cantonese cuisine, a winning combination that attracted the experienced gourmet Chen Hong from Taiwan to join their team.
徽公馆其实一路来，我们也希望在国人都喜欢的所谓洋气的概念，我们还是一样本着以这个东风西美，也就是东方元素西方演绎，一点都不要把自己本身最好的实力和底蕴给偏废掉。 我们就是最初的美好，简单的幸福。其实人到最后还是要回到3岁小时候妈妈的味道。
So, can we really get an authentic taste of Shanghai at Maison Dewey? This afternoon, I decided to invite our critic to discover and test the restaurant's really concern: the food.
Hey, hi, Audrey, how's it going?
I'm good, I'm good.
Sit down, please. Hope I haven't kept you waiting for long.
Zhu Yizhuang Molinex is a Taiwan-born, US-educated chef and food writer currently based in Shanghai. She's the best-selling author of Anthropologist in the Kitchen, which also comes as a cooking video series under the same name.
今天我要来示范做一个最经典的做菜用的高汤。那今天我就用几颗这个马铃薯，用一半的大蒜塞在肚子里面。
Between her videos, Weibo account, blog, books, and magazine articles, Zhu Yi has shaped how millions of viewers and readers in Chinese-speaking food world understand food and cooking. Zhu Yi, you've been in Shanghai for 3 years.
Yeah.
So how would you like to define Shanghai cuisine?
Well, in fact, I've been eating Shanghainese food all my life because my father's side of the family is originally from Shanghai. And I would say that, well, typically people understand Shanghainese food as being characterized by a lot of dark, thick sauces, like 浓油赤酱, right? But I would say that so much of Shanghainese food has to do with fresh seasonal ingredients, vegetables, and then you have a lot of freshwater fish and shrimp. There's so much attention to finding good ingredients. Usually the seasoning is quite minimal, and I like that kind of very just light and fresh flavor.
So let's have a look at the menu and see what we can pick.
Yeah, I see that they've actually launched this new menu called 大厨小菜. I tend to like this kind of simple dishes with humble ingredients, but in a very nice environment.
So we ordered the signature smoked fish fillets, stir-fried wild fresh river shrimps, braised pork ball in brown sauce, braised radish with prawn soup and mango pudding. Together with beverages and a 10% service charge, the meal costs 812 RMB total.
It is my favorite, 熏鱼.
Yeah, I love it too. The funny thing about this dish is that the Chinese name 熏鱼, which means smoked fish, actually has nothing to do with how it's done. It's not smoked. It's made from 青鱼. You start out with a big fish, and so you can have a lot of flesh. You slice it not too thick, not too thin, and then without any marinade, you fry it, and then you soak it in soy sauce with sugar and some spices, like 5 spices. Wow. It's very nice.
Marvelous.
It is very nice. It's very crispy, which is different from what you normally get. I would bet my money that it's fried à la minute, and that's why you have this very crispy texture.
And they choose the best part of 青鱼, so it's very tender inside. And when you have the first bite, it's actually juicy.
It's juicy. It kind of spurts juice. It doesn't taste at all muddy. Because 青鱼is usually it comes from farmed fish. Usually, no matter what you do with all the sauces, you still taste a little bit of that muddiness. Yeah, it doesn't have any bit of that typical farmed fish muddy taste.
And in terms of the presentation, I'd like to say they can do a better job.
It's a little boring, I would say. Yeah. Normally, if you present things in 3 little plates, you want to do it 3 different ways.
Yeah, or 3 different colors.
Back in the kitchen, our wild freshwater shrimps have been prepared with egg whites and cornstarch.
油不可以过夜。
Wow, this dish looks very delicate.
It's a classic 清炒河虾仁 wild freshwater shrimps. Look at the colors. It's like light ivory pink with a few flecks of fava beans. Yeah. Make sure you have it with a little bit of rice vinegar. With this dish, really the hardest part is all the preparation before the shrimp even hits the wok. There's some village in Zhejiang that's doing all the peeling, I think. So flavorful and crunchy. So you've had it elsewhere. What do you think about?
Well, it tastes a little bit different.
Because I think they really have started out with superior shrimp. These are allegedly really wild river shrimps. And you know, Hui Gongguan is part of the Xiaonanguo group. The buyers have a lot of power, and they really got the best shrimps. And with shrimps, you really need to peel them.
It me a whole day, I think.
Yeah, and this is the kind of dish that makes me feel like a queen.
Let somebody else doing the peeling.
Right, and it's not just peeling in your normal kitchen. You have to peel it over very cold bed of water with ice, because with every degree of temperature going up, you get the flesh disintegrating. So in order to keep it so crunchy, so fresh, not a bit of that fishy taste, you have to do it in a very cold environment.
And our stomachs are craving the next dish.
So 狮子头, lion's head.
Wow.
It's huge. It actually kind of looks like lion's head because it's gigantic. According to the menu, it says that they found the recipe from the basement of this villa. And you know, this used to be the private villa of Du Yuesheng, and the chef here work on this faded piece of recipe and try to recreate it, the old flavor that Du Yuesheng had. And I'll start out with the rice a little bit to taste the sauce. It's nice. It tastes very clean.
And it's very authentic, I think. Because I've tried a lot of meatball like this. Sometimes they will add some kind of like sugar taste in it.
This is definitely not overly sweet, which I like.
Yeah.
Let's try the meat. It's meltingly tender. Look at it. You see the texture of the meat. It's not too fine. It's not too fine. That's actually the secret with the meatball. For Shanghainese, they say you have to 细切粗斩. So instead of grinding it, people who really care about the details, they chop it by hand so that you get like thick pieces.
And you can find there are different types of meat. I think one of them is 火腿, it make the rich taste.
Yeah, 火腿 it really contributes to that very strong burst of umami. One thing I would say that is that I would actually prefer to have a little bit of green veg with it, but I guess because they want to really preserve the authenticity, the old-fashioned feel of the dish, they make it really bare minimalist.
Time to try the veggies.
这个是我们这个卫公馆这个腐削萝卜，这个萝卜呢做法就是我们拿这个猪骨跟这个鸡肉来煮，包出来是做30分钟左右。
Okay, so this is what they call 土人参.
Peasant's ginseng, which is really daikon. The reason they call it 土人参 is that daikon is actually very therapeutic. It's very cooling, so now that the weather is getting warmer, it's very nice to
cool down the body.
Cool down the body, yeah. It's pretty. Well, I like how they cut it very evenly thick. Wow, it tastes good.
Well, for me, it's like a taste of a salty ice cream. It's melting in your mouth.
You're right, and a little bit spicy also.
Yeah.
So you see, daikon itself does not usually have that much flavor, but it really absorbs whatever it's cooked in.
Yep.
So in this case, they start out with a rich stock and with soy sauce and some spices. So in the end, all that goodness, all that flavor goes into the pieces of daikon. Again, that's what I like about this kind of nouvelle Shanghainese food. It has all the classic flavor, the saltiness of the soy sauce and the sweetness of rock sugar. But then in the end, it doesn't feel, it's not your typical fatty pork stew.
Yeah, it's true.
It's daikon, but with all that same flavor in it.
Well, I always think that I couldn't finish a dish or a meal without a dessert at the end.
I feel the same way. That's why I ordered for us this mango pudding, which is my absolute favorite in this restaurant. Try it. It's unlike any mango pudding you've had anywhere else.
Wow.
It's like eating the best mango, but even better. It's a pudding in the sense that it's been gelled by gelatin.
Yes.
But I feel like it's just barely gelled with just a little bit of gelatin, and that's why it has to be served over an ice bath, because gelatin only works in a cold environment. So when they brought it over earlier, they said you have to have it right away, otherwise it's going to melt. So it really has that melting, tender texture, and then it has chunks of fresh mango in it. Usually when you have a pudding, it's like all smooth and flat on top because it's been gel like this. But this feels hand stirred. It really contributes to that handmade, homey feeling, and I like that.
Compared with the pudding I had before, the jelly gives it a very soft feel.
Yeah, so you really have contrast of this soft and solid texture, which makes it even more interesting than biting into the nicest fresh mango. It's a perfect ending to a very nice meal.
Oh yes, it is. Now our job is done. So for the rest, we're going to leave it to our secret expert.
Independent inspector will invite only the most authoritative and top secret diners to check out the real deal of the restaurants on our show.
Anthony Zhao is a professional chef, restaurateur, F&B consultant, and food and travel TV host. After working with Western cuisine for nearly 20 years as a chef at some of Shanghai's top dining destinations, he launched his own restaurant in Xintiandi. And the marketing and communication director of Maison Dewey came to our studio to face the challenge.
We're confident about our food and cuisine, but of course we would like to accept different attitude and different ideas from the different people.
Hello, Sophia. Welcome to our studio. We had a great time in Maison Dewey. As a part of our tradition, we will send a secret diner to a restaurant and give a further test. So let's have a look at the videos we've got from them.
Those two cold dish, it tastes very good, but I think just one problem is it takes a little bit too long to serve. We almost wait like 30 minutes. Usually I think for a cold dish, it only takes 15 minutes to serve.
30 minutes. Do you think that's long?
Yes, it's coldish, but it's our signature food. Smoky fish is doing on the spot is fry, Actually, it's coldish, but it's hot food.
So does that mean every guest, when they walk into the restaurant, they have to expect 30 minutes for waiting?
Not for every dish, but for the signature ones. And we say haste makes waste. Sometimes you need to have a good environment, just a little bit patient about signature food.
So every dish for that specific ingredients and that kind of cooking method, you would take at least 30 minutes?
No, only for the smoky fish. For the 30 minutes, yes, a little bit long, and we're going to improve the speed. 30 minutes for cold dish, it's really a time. If I'm a guest, I think if you put the dish on the cold dish, it means it will be the first one, it will be coming.
What kind of things would you do to improve that condition?
From the beginning, and from the ordering, from the transformation, and from the booking, we would like to know what the guest need. If you order the dish, it takes time, and we can tell them before to let them know, oh yes, signature food, it takes time to fry, to let them to prepare before. And of course, we're going to make the system faster.
You can write down certain words and on the menu saying, okay, please wait longer for this specific dish because this takes longer for the better taste.
Yes.
That's good. So let's have a look at the next video.
Okay.
We taste all the dishes, but most dishes we're happy. But only one dish I was a little bit disappointed. It was the sweet sour pork. I don't know what's the philosophy behind this dish. For me, I just think it's a little bit too dried and a little bit boring. That's my question. So I want to ask, maybe the boss can answer this question.
How do you think about that? It's a bit dry. I think he's quite nice. For me, I would like straight to the point.
Traditionally, we hope it's juicy inside and fried outside, a little bit crispy. For the eating habits, we are more close to the local people.
Now, let me tell you, our secret diner, actually, he is from Shanghai. So he is local. So from your point of view, you're giving the best method and best cooking dish for the local people. But he is from Shanghai.
From the local.
He's local.
Actually, we are doing the creative fusion. We would like to balance the taste because we are two cuisines combined together in a restaurant, Cantonese and localese, and get more suggestions from the guest. It's his a point, but if he don't like it, it's too dry, and we would like to find out the questions.
How would you like to get all these kind of suggestions from the guests?
Yeah,
do you do any questionnaire or survey?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah, in the Maison de Hui, we are private club actually. We have our butlers, we have the profiles. Every time they just call the VIP service, and to get the customer eating habits, we do the points, we do the remarks.
Okay, so how often do you collect all that kind of database?
A whole day, we ask our team to remember 3 new guests. After the dining day, and we will call back to get the suggestion from the guest. Actually, it's day-by-day work.
Okay, I think you might need to remember that specific guest because he has different opinion on that specific dish. And when he comes back, I think you would give him a new taste.
Yeah. Actually, I really would like to invite him again to come to our Maison de Hui.
Yes, I hope you will make some improvement on that dish. Okay, let's have a look at the other videos.
So I really like a foie gras dish, but this one have some problem is you can if you see the surface, it's not smooth. So the only reason I think probably it's this foie gras in the fridge too long, and so there's some crystal in the foie gras inside. So when you cook it, the crystal become water, so leave come out. So inside leave lots of hole on it. So that's why this foie gras doesn't taste very smooth. In your mouth, the texture is not very good.
For this one, I agree and accept his suggestion because goose liver is international ingredients. We have purchasing systems. We purchase some food from overseas. It need to be in the refrigerators.
But as far as I know, Maison de Hui, what you're trying to send, the message is that you provide best quality food. How would you like to improve it?
We would like to find more suppliers, I think, good quality suppliers who can offer the more international ingredients.
In your restaurant, is there any department or any people look after this kind of system?
Yeah,
the whole procedure?
Yeah, we call it quality control department. We can read back and we can give the feedback to tell them what's the ingredients, what's the happen, what's the problem, and they help us to improve the element.
Okay, so they just receive the information from the outside? But do they do job like look after the dish every day?
It's not happen every day actually. I mean, the food.
Okay, I think it's not a good excuse, because when people take the money from their pocket, they expect something excellent.
Yeah, if it's really happened in our restaurant, we should be responsibility and very serious about the suggestion from the guest.
So how would you like to improve this specific dish?
Go back to the kitchen and find out the ingredients, talking with our chef, and to improve our quality control in system.
My personal suggestion is that the quality control people needs to do more action in your restaurant to look after every guest, to give them the best dining experience.
Thank you.
In total, I think I had a great time in your restaurant, but in the future, we expect more from your service.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you. A little bit shocked, to be honest, and I will say, oh my God, how come? And our image is a high-end quality restaurant, but if we don't face it, if we don't find out our problem, how can we improve actually? And we get different point of view from the guest, from the VIP, of course from the medias. That's why we can grow up and we can improve better.
Here's a breakdown of our scoring system. Food will count for 40%, service 20%, environment 20%, and price 20%. The points from these categories will add up to a final score, which represents the overall dining experience, and the maximum score is 5 points.
Maison Dewey, Julu Road branch. Food, 4.5 points. Service, 4.5 points. Environment, 5 points. Price, 4.5 points. The final score for Maison Dewey is 4.5 points. Welcome back to our independent inspector. Now, every week we receive a lot of comments from our audience through the microblog. So now let's see what they are. Xiaosuo Mrs. Lee says, I watch Independent Inspector every week. The series on Chinese cuisine has made me so happy. I hope you can keep talking about different styles of Chinese cuisine so that I know what to eat. Well, that's it for today's edition of Independent Inspector. I'm Audrey Liu. If you are owners of local restaurants or hotels, you are welcome to email us at i@icshanghai.com, and you can also post your comments on our microblog. So we will see you next Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Bye-bye!
Get ready right now to join the most fabulous show ever. Highlights of the celebrity news, interviews with some of the hottest stars, get the first look at upcoming films and television projects.
I hope many people flock to the movie because I think it has all of our hearts in it.
Every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on ICS.
You're watching On the Red Carpet.
选洗发水的理由，一个不够，我给你5个：干枯、毛糙、暗哑、脆弱、分叉，解决5大受损。
全新巴黎欧莱雅多效修复系列，蕴含1亿个极小微胶原精华，更深更准修护，解决干枯、毛糙、暗哑、脆弱、分叉。
秀发重现强韧、柔亮。5大受损，一个对策。
巴黎欧莱雅多效修复系列，
这就是你的理由，你值得拥有。
谁说成功没有捷径？焕维炫动影视动画培训中心为你搭建成功阶梯。武林争霸， 中国达人秀，外滩4D 灯光秀，幕后团队亲自授课，CG 高手直面交流 ，SMG 上海电视台之称，100%推荐就业，媒体产业优先录用，咨询热线021-6654-7688。
With 24 hours of English broadcasting, ICS connects Shanghai to the world. We bring you an in-depth look at news and finance. Look to the city's greatest minds and figures. Show you the city's finest cuisine, along with some of the world's best chefs. Discover the newest trends in fashion, art and entertainment. Explore the far reaches of China and travel the globe. Get connected to Shanghai and China all on ICS.
完美下午茶就是要好吃配好喝，
要虾球配雪梨茶，
要浓郁配清新，法式配美式，还要香酥配
甜蜜。
必胜客下午茶套餐28元起，有吃有喝，随心组合，每次来都有新搭配哦。
还有免费续杯哦。
有吃有喝，下午茶更完美了。